What a 24 hours, the first day of the Democratic National Convention where speaker after speaker just shredded Donald Trump. Incredible. But remember, the day started with that Fox poll that had Donald Trump down 6 among likely voters in the latest Fox poll. Then you had the Morning Consult poll that had Donald Trump down 4. You add on top of that the New York Times Siena poll where Donald Trump's now losing in Arizona and North Carolina. So you started with just an epic meltdown of Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump was kind of like stunned into silence. I'll do a video on that on a little bit as well, as each TNC speaker just like absolutely skewered him. So you know what he does when that's happening, because he knows that some of his supporters are watching the DNC. So he's got to send some of the cultiest and weirdest of emails. So that's what he did to his supporters. I subscribed to his listserv, so you don't have to. Here's what Donald Trump's campaign sent. Do you love Donald Trump? That's actually the subject. Do you love Donald Trump? And then the email says, do you love Donald Trump? Well, that's me, so I hope you do. I just released these new MAGA hats for you. These are very limited edition. I love Trump. I mean, come on. It's like the silliest thing in the world. And really, really weird. And then Donald Trump emailed, Hillary Clinton is about to unleash hell on you. And that's the email. Hillary Clinton is about to declare all-out war on MAGA. She's already called you deplorable, bigoted, and racist. She's labeled you a conspiracy theorist for refusing to accept her disgusting lies. She's even called you a threat to democracy and a danger to this country, but she'll spread even more leftist propaganda when she takes the stage at the Democrat convention. And our response needs to be loud enough to drown out her hateful speech. This is Donald Trump's email. Can we watch, though, Hillary Clinton's speech? Just a small portion of it. Let's play it.
As a prosecutor, Kamala locked up murderers and drug traffickers. She will never rest in defense of our freedom and safety. Donald Trump fell asleep at his own trial, and when he woke up, he made his own kind of history, the first person to run for president with 34 felony convictions. As Vice President, Kamala sat in the Situation Room.
That's so good. She's so in his head, it is wild. Also, Vice President Kamala Harris is also in Donald Trump's head 24/7 right now. Here's what Donald Trump emailed as well. He goes, alert from Trump. I just posted this on X, which is Twitter. That's what they call it now. This is the photo that Kamala doesn't want you to see. And then it's just an AI photo of like the back of someone who's supposed to be Vice President and Kamala Harris in like the Soviet Union. And that's Donald Trump saying, this is the photo she doesn't want you to see. Could we talk about for a second, though, just how pathetic it is that Donald Trump now keeps using AI photos over and over again? Like, he accepted a AI endorsement of Taylor Swift. Trump created AI images. This is how pathetic of a human being he is. He created AI images of Swifties and claims that Swifties support Trump using these AI images, which also is illegal under the Elvis Act in Tennessee, among other acts, to use AI to create false endorsements. But we'll see if Taylor Swift ends up bringing legal action about that. But how pathetic can you be? And here's what Donald Trump goes. First, they erased my right to free speech. Then they targeted me with regime lawfare. Now Kamala wants Soviet price controls in every neighborhood grocery store. store. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. Can we just take a look, though, at some of these incredible speakers just skewering Donald Trump, like Jasmine Crockett, using some nice alliteration right here. Play this clip.
The question before us is, will a vindictive, vile villain violate voters' vision for a better America or not? I hear alliterations are back in style. We deserve better. We deserve a president who can be a bright light in a sea of darkness. One who will pull us forward, because we won't go back.
Or here you have Democratic Congressmember Jamie Raskin. Here, play this clip.
Hey, J.D. Vance, do you understand why there was a sudden job opening for running mate on the GOP ticket? They tried to kill your predecessor.
Pitch perfect right there. Also, just talking about the joy of what was going on at the Democratic National Convention, comparing that to whatever the heck was going on in the RNC. Here's Governor Tim Walz's kids doing bunny ears behind him, as Nate Morris says, this may be the most relatable Minnesota content that there is. Here, play this clip.
Oh, it's a privilege. It's an honor, and I can tell you this ticket, feeling that energy, just a privilege. You were out, leave it alone, but you were in out.
Then, as Governor Walz said after he saw that posted, my kids keep me humble. I mean, what a difference this is, though, right? Remember Donald Trump's Republican National Convention when you had Hulk Hogan as the speaker? Here, play this clip.
You lowlifes, all you scumbags, all you drug dealers, and all you crooked politicians need to answer one question, brother. What you gonna do when Donald Trump and all the Trumpomaniacs run wild on you?
Yeah, seems a little bit worse. I don't know. Seems like I'd rather have, Steve Kerr, gold medal winning coach for the U.S. Olympic team. Here's Steve Kerr. Play this clip.
And after the results are tallied that night, we can, in the words of the great Steph Curry, we can tell Donald Trump, night, night. Thank you.
By the way, I love that future generations get what's going on right now. Here's our Gen Z reporter, Adam Mockler at the DNC. And here he's interviewing someone even younger than him. Watch how smart both of them are great. Here, watch this clip.
Incredibly well said. And what issues are most important to you personally? There's so many, right?
Yeah. I'll start with President Biden's accomplishments are just so impressive, and we have to keep that going. And I know the exact person who's going to keep that going. That's Kamala Harris. Issues that are most important to me, first of all, not electing a felon to the White House.
That should be obvious, right?
That should be obvious, but unfortunately it's not, based off the interviews I've seen with you. So those are the most issues important to me, and I appreciate you so much for asking.
Hat tip to my buddy Democratic Congress member Jared Moskowitz right here. He was going on Fox dueling with Jesse Waters and the propagandist there. Watch this, play it.
Right, so you realize that it's just like over-the-top flattery. You just have to say this to make the guy feel better.
We're just trying to compete with the Republicans. I mean, the flattery with Donald Trump, right? I mean, he's the best golfer, the best basketball player, best at baseball, best president, tallest person ever. He's better looking than Kamala. I mean, what man's like, I'm better looking than Kamala, or I'm better looking than a woman?
Do you think if you're a guy, you can't say, well, I'm just generally better looking than another woman?
All I know is if I ever said that, my wife would change the locks at the house and I'd see my kids with a monitor.
Well, you probably married up.
I did marry.
And by the way, even Donald Trump's propaganda networks are just thinking that he's like awful right now. So here you have, which propaganda is this Newsmax? Yeah, where Newsmax goes, what happened to Grandpa Trump? That's their segment. What happened to Grandpa Trump? Take a look at that. Oh, and then I'm not going to play you the video. I'm not going to expose you to Newsmax propaganda, but they basically say that Trump is old and boring. I summarized it for you nicely right there. Here, by the way, JD Vance, take a look at this. This account goes, JD Vance absolutely horrified by the sight of Cheese Whiz. JD Vance gets a cheesesteak at Pat's. He's asked about why we don't have Swiss cheese. Candidates ordering cheesesteak during their visit to Philadelphia is a long-time election tradition. As our editor-in-chief Ron Filipkowski goes, he asked why they don't have Swiss cheese at Pat's. That's it, folks. Time to focus on other states. Just think about. And J.D. Vance wanted to clarify, though. He said he was not asking why he's not saying that he wanted Swiss cheese. What J.D. Vance was saying is that he was just curious why you don't put Swiss cheese onto the Philly cheesesteak. By the way, for those who don't know, it's just something that you don't do in Philly. You don't ask for Swiss cheese on a cheesesteak. And, you know, that kind of reminds me, too, of when Governor Walz the other day said, look, J.D. Vance ain't like us. He ain't from Nebraska. He wouldn't even know the first thing about Nebraska. Here, play this clip.
And this idea about knowing us, let me ask you something on this. Do you think J.D. Vance knows one damn thing about Nebraska? He's going to be here next week. You think he's ever had a runza? You think he's ever had a runza? That guy would call it a hot pocket. You know it. Every one of you in here know it. A damn hot pocket.
See, he foreshadowed it right there. Oh, and by the way, with all of this terrible news that MAGA is getting right here, can we just talk about George Santos crying as he entered into a guilty plea on 2 felony counts for identity theft? And he'll be going to jail for a long time. Donald Trump, this may be your future. Sir, everyone's saying, sir, this may be your future, sir. Here, play this clip.
I'm taking responsibility because I have to. There's no other way around it. To my family, friends, and supporters, and the people of New York's 3rd Congressional District, I offer my deepest apologies. It has been the proudest achievement of my life to represent you, and I believe I did so to the best of my abilities. But you also trusted me to represent you with honor and to uphold the values that are essential to our democracy. And in that regard, I failed you. I know that my actions have caused disappointment, frustration, and a loss of faith in me, and for that, I'm truly sorry. I also want to acknowledge the many people who have stood by me during this difficult time, my family, friends, and legal team. Your support has been a source of strength, and I am determined to repay your faith in me by becoming a better person. Moving forward, I am dedicated to making amends for the wrongs I have committed. I understand that there are legal consequences for my actions, and I accept them fully. This plea is not just an admission of guilt, it's an acknowledgement that I need to be held accountable, like any other American that breaks the law. I hope that by facing these consequences head on, I can begin to demonstrate my commitment to change and to earning your forgiveness. I do not ask for forgiveness, as I know that must be earned through actions, not words. I want to be a part of restoring the integrity that I helped diminish, and I will work tirelessly to regain the trust of those I have let down. As I move forward, I am committed to living a life that reflects the values I should have upheld all along. Truth and integrity. I know that
Sorry, I was having a little bit too much fun with that. Oh, here, this was from Donald Trump's press conference earlier in the day, though, where he was very upset that he's being called weird. Here, play this.
See it a little bit by this whack job. You know, he said, we're weird. That JD and I are weird. I think we're extremely normal people. Like you, exactly like. He's weird. Did you ever see him go on the stage and go like crazy? It's like between his movement and her laugh, there's a lot of craziness. I'd say a step further than weird. Weird is a nice word by comparison.
Well, there you have it. There you have it, folks. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers with your support. I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there this week. Oh, man. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.